UNA having a good season in their first year of Division One, and placing very well on land. I believe they also got third in D1 on land, which is very impressive when you can play well on land.
Extremely impressive. And who are we going to start off with? None other than Nazcaz himself. First blood drawn by University of North Alabama, not checking over in top gold, gets taken down. And so far, almost a quarter of hill time taken by UNA. And UNA is really coming out guns blazing right now.
Yeah, Stanley, one of the predominant, I believe, keyboard and mouse players in College Halo. He's been a staple in the league for a while, and I'm not surprised seeing him coming up with two off the first break.
No, I don't think anybody picked up camo just yet. It's still there in top mid. Not a single person has been able to grab that yet. I'm pretty sure University of North Alabama is aware of it. Somebody popped it somewhere, but Zenny going to gun down Goob? Goob. We're going to call him Goob. Some of these names you're going to have to help me with. This is my first time with the College Halo players in general. So some of these names, you're just going to have to fill me in on. I'm learning it live.
It is Goob, 100%. We all love Goob. Goob is probably the GOAT of YCP, not Naz. We're just going to go with that. And, a little back and forth here, not Brask. I'm going to go with that. New player for YCP coming up kind of huge here on this first hill, kind of getting a break here. 4-2, strong start from him. But, the two MVPs for YCP last year with Naz and Goob having a slow start to the season.
It was a little bit of a slow start, but it looks like the sticks are finally starting to warm up just a little bit. Unfortunately, Nazcaz is trying to stay alive here, and Hotel is able to do so. Gets a nice flank on that truck player, but unfortunately, it is going to cost him that first hill. So, first hill taken by University of North Alabama. York College is going to have to figure things out from here.
100%, and UNA has the spawns here, so it's going to be a hard fight here for YCP. And it's pretty even in trays right now, but YCP does have the man advantage. Let's see if they can actually pull off to flip the spawns here and try to get this hill number 2.
They're trying very hard. It's a tough hill to crack, especially from the outside. But this top goal position is extremely important. Base God showing us exactly why. Getting to flank on multiple players, finally taken out by YCP. And YCP halfway through this hill already. Nice repulse throwing them out, but it is going to cost him his life. And I believe this is going to be the charge. And yes, it is the claim for University of North Alabama taking this hill away from YCP. So now YCP going to have to figure things out on the back foot. Not Frash taken out by base God. Goob, unfortunately, getting caught over in loop. Perfect shots coming out from Odin, going to take him down as well. And watch out, it looks like we might get a reverse cap from UNA unless YCP is able to do something against this defense.
Yeah, if you're YCP, you had a moment to breathe there, but you kind of gave it up with those staggered pushes. So you're really going to need to get something going, either probably for the next hill, as UNA is 3/4 of the way through this one, but it just looks like UNA's guns are hot. The trades are definitely not flowing for YCP at the moment. So it's going to be a very hard fight going down 2-0 in this King of the Hill.
Starting to see a lot of why UNA is the YCP kryptonite right now. Just kills going back and forth, but constantly showing purple in the feed. This means that UNA are absolutely guns blazing. They're gunning down YCP. These Spartans, gonna have to figure out how to take on this very tough defense from University of North Alabama. Base God winning that trade from Frash is absolutely insane from back Hotel as well. Nazcaz does get the trade back. However, this is just hill time being taken over and over and over again. They're finally getting the collapse and taking down base God in Hotel. But here comes the push from truck there, and there it is. It is going to be a constant series of trades for UNA.
Yeah, when UNA is halfway done with this hill, and it seems like they have the spawns here now, finally looking like they're starting to get something going in the kills department, but I'm gonna need to see a lot more team chows here if they're gonna take this hill. I still see a lot of solo chows, a lot of staggered pushing out of YCP. They're gonna need a collective get something going collectively because UNA is just picking them apart one by one, getting good time.
UNA just keeps staggering their deaths over and over and over again. And it's not going to stop until they finally get a reset on this team fight. Now it's going to be Base God getting taken down, and here we go. This is exactly what they needed. They just need to slow things down, get that reset. Now they can confidently take this hill and put shots down. Nisa, oh my gosh, Nazcat's going to get a double kill on hill is absolutely insane, by the way. And I believe he's still alive. Yes, he is still alive. And all of UNA is spawning over in back yellow, back blue. And look at this. Nazcat's in the perfect flanking cafe window to keep them from pushing across towards C. The camo is going to spawn in a second, and I'm wondering they're going to need a couple more kills before. Things are swinging back towards UNA, and I don't think they're going to be able to get this camo, which could be huge for the push coming from UNA.
Yeah, and I think Stanley's going to have camo here, which is not a good sign for YCP, because if you really wanted to make a swing in this game mode, you're going to need that camo. As Stanley, with the camo, does get on point here, might go down here, but does not go down because Odin saves his life. Camo in this position here, it's not looking good for YCP. They're going to need to have a good team push here to have a hope to capture in this hill. And it looks like they have a shot killing the camo. Can Naz play his life? He can, but the split spawns might get YCP in the end because I don't think they know that person's behind them.
It's not too bad, but the kills are starting to get traded out in favor of UNA, which means YCP, unfortunately, not able to finish this hill. Both teams are very, very close to capping this hill. It is going to come down to the next team fights here. Nazcats need to survive in Cafe. They're unfortunately getting taken down. I do believe this is going to be the hill in favor of UNA once again, and it is probably going to be a 3-0 sweep so far this early in game number 1.
Yeah, and if you're YCP, you really needed that hill to avoid this type of deficit because coming back from 3-0 and King of the Hill is probably one of the toughest things to do in Halo Infinite. So they're going to need to do something miraculous here to kind of get this hill. But 3 down for YCP is not looking great with UNA picking up these spawns here, having the power up, and it looks like they just have the positioning. Oh. And a big shot from Zenion Goob. Poor Goob. Turned the corner, got his face melted by the shock. Hitting another shot on Nazcaz. Can they double chow him here? Well, going to back away with the shock. 2 shots left in it. Hopefully, good nade out of Cam or Naz, but they need to get a good collapse here to hopefully flip these spawns.
And here comes the charge from York Spartans. Oh, getting the kill after death is really unfortunate for Nazcast. However, his team did do enough over in gold to be able to flank around the hill and to be able to put some time on the board. They do know they're going to spawn really strong in that cafe side, but oh my gosh, here comes the attack. And unfortunately, not able to clean up everybody, but it will be just enough. 3 go down for York Spartans. And I believe this will be University of North Alabama not actually finishing the hill. It looks like now the call comes in to get some more hill time. Oh, Frash, unfortunate, not knowing where Base God is. Base God going to get this camo as well. I do believe, Burrito, this might be the nail in the coffin unless he gets taken down quickly, and he does. Caminair taking him down. Nazca doing what he can. Caminair getting himself a double kill to try and stop them from capping this hill. Otherwise, this will be game. YCP desperately needed to get this hill in order to start the comeback.
It looks like they have some signs of life here, but they don't have much room for error here with the slivers just needed for UNA. So they're going to need a stronghold. It's a very interesting call not to get time here. You go down 3 to 4 in numbers right now. All of you guys are stacked on the hill. A lot of grenade damage coming from UNA. And it looks like the break is going to come in for UNA. Is that a stick on Caminator? It is not. I thought he got a lucky bounce. But it's not looking too good. I think with that kill, they're going to be too far away to even get close to the hill. So I think that is map 1 for the side of UNA. Wow, I'm going to need to see a lot more team chows out of YCP in this upcoming Slayer, or it is going to be a long night for these guys. I do hear it being loaded in, so hopefully this is true. Hopefully everyone has connected. Listen, maybe YCP needs to shed out a little more cheddar for some fiber, you know. But we'll leave that up to them. I'm pretty sure they're the ones there all the time, so I'm pretty sure they understand their Wi-Fi situation. But we are in for game 2, starting with Mr. Gooba. Hopping in this Street Slayer, super excited to get this on. No objectives besides shooting your bandit.
There is that Stalker rifle in red, but I don't know if Caminator picked it up. Nope, he did pick it up. So we do have a little bit of a powerful 3-shot weapon, as Caminator is going to delightfully show to us there. But Camo's going to spawn here in the next 3 seconds. This is the most powerful power-up on the map currently, and it looks like it will be an easy pickup for YCP. So I'm really looking forward to see how Gooba is going to turn this camo into a swing here. He might get the back smack. The patience, oh my goodness, finally gets snipped out. Is going to get chased down. Does get a teammate to help him out. Finally going to take him down. And my goodness, I mean, it turned into a good play, but that could have been all sorts of bad for YCP if Gooba had gotten taken out. However, it is going to turn into a full team wipe for UNA. So a great start for YCP.
And I think one of the main things that benefited Gooba there is that the change of camo from last season was going from 30 seconds to 45, which may not seem like a big difference, but in Halo time, that's like forever. And it's probably one of the most annoying things that we've had to adjust to in Halo itself. And Gooba kind of starting a little hot with that camo, helping get his team to this 12-5 lead, looking pretty good compared to that map 1. Maybe you know the break was on purpose to ice up UNA. I'm just speculating here. I don't have any factual evidence.
But this flood from UNA, this is the second time that I've seen them commit to these heavy floods on YCP, and it's really not turning in for them. Congrats to YCP for really holding their ground against these massive 3 or 4 person engage that UNA keeps throwing at YCP, and they're just not shaken. They're not shaken by these constant charges. Who put that grenade there? Unfortunately, Gooba gets taken down by that wayward grenade. But so far, YCP up by 7 kills, make that 8 as Nazcaz is going to take down Base God, telling him to see you later, have fun at the death screen, and we'll see him for another 4 seconds.
And you know, one of the main slayers from game 1 for UNA, Stanley, not having a great start to the map at 1-4. But the big difference here is Goob is 7-2 to start this game off. Maybe the camo helped a lot, but this non-kill league for YCP is looking pretty good at the moment. Let's hope they can keep it up and bounce back from a really tough map 1 loss.
Looks like UNA are going to slow things down, especially with this camo being up. This is going to be where the next team fight happens. Very wise of them to kind of hold this top 8 positions. Very, very powerful. However, 2 UNA members do go down. Base Guy does get the trade back. However, Stanley gets taken down. I believe that will be a camo grab for YCP. Ooh, unfortunately, Base God not getting to the last shot there is going to pay for it with his life, but Odin going to trade all the way on the other side of the map. But we have Thrash with camo putting some shots on Zenny. Zenny forced to use a Shroud to run away. Is going to be able to run away, and Thrash gets taken down, which means no more camo for YCP. So a little bit of a blunder there, but Aminator with this red gun, being true to his name, that 007, you better watch out for this guy. Oh, he gets taken down, unfortunately. But it looks like UNA are holding their ground just a little bit against YCP. Can't win the long-range gunfight, Thrash, and Thrash gets taken down. And that kill lead that we were talking about, Burrito, is going to be shortened just by a little bit.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, Caminator's having a really strong performance to start this map off. I feel like every time we hop on Cam, he just always has a red gun, and he is shooting with that thing 100%. I mean, every time I feel like he's getting, 2 shots, a bandit shot, or 3-shot perfects with the red gun, and I mean, that thing is nasty if you're good with it. It seems like he's the go-to guy for YCP with the red gun.
Absolutely, you got one of your shooters in Caminator. I mean, why not? His name is Caminator 007. I'd be giving him the red gun as many times as I can, but what I'm really impressed with right now is YCP are not playing as aggressively as they did in game number 1. Maybe they were listening to stream, I don't know. But if they did listen to stream and took some of the advice that we were talking about, Burrito, I think that's huge for YCP to try and swing this game number 2. They're up by 9 kills right now. Is certainly a winnable game, and UNA are really trying their best to slow the tempo down, but these grenades are just keeping them from being a little bit too comfortable over in the backline. But here comes the flood from UNA. The stick from Nazcaz taking down Odin isn't going to live. Unfortunately, Stanley going to hunt him down. Oh, but you got to check your corners. Is he going to win it? No way, Fresh. Come on, man. The perfect reversal from Zenny. Guns him down. Who put Caminator there in the corner there? But, man, what a trade from Zenny.
I'll tell you what. I know everyone thinks I'm a big Nazcaz hater. He says it himself. He's got 9 assists right now, which, and no matter what, assists matter a lot in Halo because it means you're playing together with your teammates, you're playing trades, you're putting down damage. So 9 assists, I'll tip it to him, all right? This is the only gas I'm giving him all year. He's looking like CP3 with assists. Prime CP3, not the one that gets traded every other week CP3.
Absolutely. UNA did try playing Shroud to get themselves a camo grab. Unfortunately, however, I do believe camo ended up getting burned by YCP. So that's huge to make sure that UNA are just not able to get any momentum this game. They are still several kills away from swinging this game. It's 38-31. It's not completely over just yet, but YCP still playing it safe, still trying to play defense. Unfortunately, UNA starting to chip away at that lead a little bit. We do have Frash with the red gun now. Is going to take down Zanny, but Odin, I think, is going to be on the hunt. They know that he's over in Arcade. Yes, they do. There he is. Odin finally getting the cleanup kill, and he's going to say thank you very much, and he's going to try to use the stalker rifle as much as he can. And unfortunately, Caminator getting caught over in back sub. Very, very unfortunate for him, and it looks like UNA, they brought an 8-kill game to a 3-kill game, Burrito.
Enemy team nearing victory.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely no counting out this UNA team because they have been a strong Slayer team since the inception of the team a couple years back. But a big 3 dead for UNA from the side of YCP. And I will tell you what, it's been a complete flip from the YCP we saw last map to this map, because 3 of them have double-digit kills and Naz has double-digit assists in the game mode that it truly matters the most. So this might come down to the wire, and hopefully YCP is able to pull it off and come back from a rough first loss. But these teams are going at it 100% at the moment.
I think UNA is making a big error in constantly over-flooding YCP. They're putting themselves in these really weird situations where they just get constantly traded out or 3 dead. Stanley taking hold of top A is going to get himself a nice double kill as they slow things down a little bit. 46-41, you absolutely cannot afford any more deaths here. But here comes a flood over in PD, and this is a good patient play. It's just Caminator all by himself. Is going to trade himself out though, which is a little unfortunate, especially that it is only 3 kills away before the game is just over. This last camo is absolutely going to be the end of the game, and I don't think Nazcast burned it there. I think it's still sitting in mid. Odin's going to take down Frash, 46-47. And just 1 kill separates these 2 teams, and my goodness, what a sweep from UNA actually. Guba is going to get 1 more kill, so it's 48-46, but YCP are just 2 kills away from winning this game, and I wonder if they're going to be able to ice up and finish this game. However, here comes the flood that we all know that UNA likes to do. Oh, but Caminator gets a trade, and I don't believe it. Nazcast gets a back smack somewhere else across the map, and unfortunately, UNA fall in game number 2, and it will be YCP answering back with their Slayer win in game number 2 of this series. So I'm really curious to see if YCP is going to be able to continue to play that they did in game number 2, or will UNA's aggressive play style finally be able to break the wall that is YCP's defense. We're going to find out here with Odin, who is trying to fight over bottom mid. Very important here. Base God going to win a snipe battle against Caminator by the sounds of it. And Zinni's going to gun down Nazcast. Frash taking down Odin in the back. However, I do believe this will be the overshield grab for UNA. And here comes the charge already. And Base God taking down Frash's face with the sniper rifle. And he's not done. He's going to take down Caminator's dome from the back of the head. And here comes the first pull for UNA. Oh, Nazcast also going to be brought down to no shields. Has to play very, very defensively, trying not to get naded out, but he is going to be run down and taken down. Oh, and another snipe from Base God.
Oh my God.
And I think YCP are going to count their lucky stars, and that Base God ran out of snipe ammo. But I do believe this will be a UNA cap in just a few seconds.
I mean, I think we're already looking at a Canada Play of the Year from Killjinxie here, so it's gonna. That was quite the hot start, you know. Killjinxie, definitely one of the people in Chalo that is very committed to the game, always in 8s, always shooting bots, always shooting something on Halo. And man, what an opening start for UNA. I just think, just starting off so hot, it's so hard to kill momentum on Capture the Flag. You know, it's one of those extremely momentum-based games. And Caminator's not checking corners at the moment, getting smacked by Killjinxie. And 3 dead again for the side of YCP. We're looking at another flag pull here. This is going to be a tough break for them.
That was absolutely a breakdown in communication. Unfortunately, Nazcast, something happened.
Something happened.
I'm
not too sure.
We are going to be loading into our 3rd game here. Apologies, everybody. Just remember, UNA is up by 1 flag capture. So all they have to do is capture the flag 2 more times, and the game will be over for YCP. YCP, York College of Pennsylvania, going up against University of North Alabama. The Purples going up against the Spartans, and looks like, and here we go, NASCAT, there we go! This is what I wanted to see, Burrito. YCP on the offensive towards that hut. It will unfortunately cost them a little bit, but honestly, that's what I wanted to see from York College of Pennsylvania. That right there.
Yeah, and even if you're Terminator here with this snipe, you want to play this snipe. You do not want UNA to get it, and that's exactly what he's going to do here, which, I mean, I think this is best case scenario for YCP. You know, overshield is burned, snipe is burned. You got to hope that you have yours, which I think Thrash does. So it's looking pretty good for YCP this opening break compared to last. But he does drop with that snipe. Going to give it to Stanley. I don't think Stanley knows the snipe is there. I think, actually, he might have played it as well, unless Noob has it.
I think it was either played or it was out of ammo, one of the two. However, it is going to be just a fight with bandits for now, but North Alabama is all over YCP's side of the map. Nice job by Goob, nice job by Thrash with the team shot there to really put UNA on the back foot, and it looks like Zenny is going to be taken down here relatively quickly as well. However, they are living up in the backside of York College's map, and unfortunately, Goob forced it back down, getting some shots from UNA's ramp, and he's going to have to run through bottom mid. So they weren't quite able to actually push any of these UNA players out of their side of the map. And they're just wreaking havoc on these spots. Ooh, nice job by Thrash, though, winning that one. Might slow down the flag just yet, but they're all set up on that hut bridge.
Yeah, but if you look at UNA's flag is also out of base, so YCP has a shot here to kind of counteract this offensive from UNA and kind of make things even all again. So hopefully, I mean, I've seen a lot more from YCP this time around than the first, first time we played map 3. So hopefully they can keep it up. But Stanley, 5-2, kind of coming back from that map 2. And YCP kind of struggling a little bit in the slates department. You kind of got to see them shoot their bandit a little bit more. Naz is going to be soloed out in the back of his base by Overshield, which is a fight you never really want to take because you're at a huge disadvantage. Terminator getting some good damage, getting the kill here. But KillJixie is getting the double kill, leaving Goob the last one up for YCP. Naz joining him. But they do have 100% control of the flag base. I don't think Naz just knows KillJixie is here. Easy pick for KillJixie, but YCP does spawn Suicide, which might be a tough spot for UNA.
Major problems for YCP, unfortunately. Just University of North Alabama keeps constantly flooding the back of their base. They really just need to make sure that they clean out their base and then push out from there. It is going to mean that they have to give up so much map control to North Alabama, but at this point, the fact that you have 1-2 players just hanging out in the back of your spawn like they have been for the past, I don't know, 3 minutes, really is kind of a struggle. And here comes another push from North Alabama again. They are going to get the flag pull. They are going to run it towards bottom mid, and it looks like nobody from YCP is there to challenge. Nice flank from Goob, though. I think he's not going to be able to do much there, unfortunately, but NASCAT is going to be hanging out in bottom their hut, is going to get Zenny from behind, but Odin is going to challenge him on the return. He is going to be a shot down, a few more shots down, and it looks like he is going to be able to take the flag and try to run with it. The grenades coming in, dropping him down to just a sliver of HP, and the Dynamo grenades are going to finish him off. And that is going to be a return. And on the flip side of that, YCP did get a flag pull of their own, but it looks like things are being stalled out, and once again, guess who is Thrash with the snipe. Let's see what he can do with it, Burrito.
Yeah, and if you're YCP, you got some good momentum here with UNA spawning that back hut area. You have the picks and a snipe out of Thrash. You're looking good if you're YCP to kind of even things out. You have Overshield, and you have 3 dead. This is looking good for a YCP counter cap. But can they keep up the pressure and kind of ride the momentum to cap more than once here to get the advantage? And you are fighting against KillJixie and Stanley, who are both hot at the moment. And you do go 2 dead here with UNA in your base. So you're going to need a good counter attack here from the side of YCP. Goob getting a solid trade. Naz being the only one up left. But Terminator is up top mid, putting some pressure on Jixie. But UNA also gets a pull here.
Oh.
2 dead for the side of UNA. What a nade. 3 dead for the side of UNA. Thrash is just shooting back this map. He's got the snipe. He's cross-mapping people with the bandit. This is a good counterattack for the side of YCP.
One more team fight is all YCP needs to be able to get another flag pull. NASCAT's taking down Stanley in the background. will be step number 1. Step number 2, Caminator. If he can live over here in by stickies, this will be a great position. Frash gonna take this route bottom mid. I don't think they cleaned out the guy in Hut. It looks like Kill Jixie does go down. Frash unfortunately getting taken down as well. However, Zenny was already dropped to 2 shots, and he is going to be taken down as well. Goob will fall across the map, Caminator, but he is going to get the clamor to stay alive. Goob taken down.
Ooh.
Stanley taking him down. I think this is going to be another cap for York College. This is huge for them to go up 2-0 in the series, that they were down by 1 cap so much earlier, but it looks like Base God is going to be in a nice position to contest this cap. It is going to be taken down by Caminator. Great defense from YCP, which will result in them another flag cap. But it looks like University of North Alabama is on the offensive, so can YCP hold, or will UNA be able to answer back with a cap of their own?
Yeah, it looks like YCP is playing really good defense here. You do have 6 minutes left on the clock, but that is a lot of time. Caminator getting a big stick on Odin. Overshield is up now, and Kill Jixie with the snipes again. This guy is on fire tonight. Can YCP grab their snipe, or will Zenny get to it first? It looks like there's a fight for it, and Frask wins it again. Who else but Frask? Oh my god, having a map. But Kill Jixie is hitting his snipes as well. Looks like Frask is hitting them too. 3 up for the side of UNA. We need another big push out of YCP. And Odin having a tough map 3, sitting at 4 and 11. Sorry to out you, buddy, but Nazcaz going down from a snipe from guess who? Another Kill Jixie. But York, all dead for York. UNA is going to be on the attack here. We got to see if UNA is going to get the pull here to even things out after starting off so hot.
Thank you so much, Last Shot, for raiding the channel. Appreciate you very much, buddy. The GOAT on the hot streak from the Birmingham Open Bracket. Shopify Rebellion looking very strong, but going back to this game, can YCP continue to hold? So far, their defense has been rather thick, if you don't mind me saying so. North Alabama struggling to make a solid, concerted effort against this YCP hold, and it's going to continue. Caminator taking down Stanley and Hut. This is a big push that he needs to be able to get across the 50-yard line, and it looks like he's going to be able to do so. A couple of shots into the back of Kill Jixie is going to force him to hang out over a mid, but this is a dangerous position for him to be. Unfortunately, Caminator trying to find him, but he will get taken down as he wasn't quite sure where Kill Jixie was staying at. Stanley taking down Frash as well, and it looks like North Alabama is once again on the attack, and YCP once again forced to play defense.
And I would like to just say W Frosty for raid 2. We have both Last Shot and Frosty giving back to the College Halo community with raids, and we're tuning into a good map 3 here between the UNA Purple Lions and the York Spartans. So, as we see, coming down to the wire here, 4 minutes left between these two squads in this map 3, and Nazcaz getting a little egotistical with the chow, but you know, gotta love a little bit of the ego in College Halo. And you know, Odin 5 and 15 needs to step it up a little bit here if he wants his team to pull the win here in map 3 before map 4. But Goob getting a little egotistical too, winning that fight. Huge win out of Goob. Getting some help from Caminator, I believe. No, it was Frash. Caminator is fighting for his life top mid, and getting a little too aggressive here. Odin with the double kill. That's exactly what you need to get rolling here.
This guy's got the mouse and keyboard kind of aim, you know, the flicks with the wrist by the looks of it to me. Is constantly moving that POV so fast it's making my eyes bleed a little bit. But finally the Purple Lions are able to get an attack going, but Nazcaz with a double kill is huge. Unfortunately, Stanley getting that perfect is going to get this flag across through bottom mid, and I don't think YCP is going to be able to stop this. 3 went down earlier in that exchange. Oh, I thought he dropped it a little bit, but it looks like he manages just fine. And I think this will be a tied game. No, he did actually drop it. The fumble at the goal line, essentially. And he's still getting it in. He's going to try his best, and it looks like yes.
Go, but the stop!
It's the goal line stand. Nazcaz getting the headshot, gets himself a sniper rifle as well, but unfortunately he's on the other side of the map, so I do believe that will be a tied game for the Purple Lions, but that was a little shaky, Stanley.
It was a little shaky. Fumble at the goal line. It's a little rough, but where else would you want to be? Tied 2 minutes left in the game, a whole lot of 2s. I'm going to need a 3 sometime soon because I'd rather see a win here than overtime.
It's the mouse and keyboard, right? You got to push too many buttons, and sometimes those buttons are a little too far away from each other. You know, so much easier on the controller when you can just use your thumb to push every single button. But regardless, it's neither here nor there. It looks like UNA did get the overshield, but it didn't last very long. Caminator gonna have to run towards bottom mid, is gonna stay alive. I was a little scared about missing that jump there too, Caminator. But it looks like he is gonna be found out by Kill Jixie. Kill Jixie not gonna let him live for very long. But we have 1 minute and 38 seconds left in this game. I think we might actually go to overtime in this game number 3, Burrito.
It's looking like it, but UNA does have the picks here and does have positioning here inside this base. A big nade coming out of Odin. Caminator's one shot in the back of the base. Nazcast is going to fall here. Caminator is going to be one of the last hopes, and Goob and fresh off the spawn, looking too far. I think UNA is going to pull this one out if they don't get these guys through the sewer. But I think UNA has it in a clear here. It's looking pretty good unless Fresh can save the game. It's not looking like it. UNA is going to take the map 3-2 in map 3, going up in the series 2-1. What a comeback from UNA. Little shaky, came back from the reset, 1 up. YCP scores 2, then you come back and score 2 of your own. I think that's great composure out of UNA. And for YCP, I think you just fell a little short in those team fights. I mean, with all the maps that we've seen tonight with the camo has played such a factor in these two teams' like play style and what has happened in those maps. So super excited how it happens here, especially with it being a 3v4 almost every single time with one person holding the ball.
Once again, thank you to Shyway for raiding the channel as well. My goodness, we're getting so much love tonight as Nazcast gets the double kill on University of North Alabama, letting the York College Spartans maybe get a little bit of a lead, but unfortunately for them, it looks like the ball is brought all the way over towards A. However, it is going to be brought towards the lethal hands of Caminator, who is going to hold this over in back green just for now. Crash, however, trying to stay alive in Turbine, isn't going to last very long with that flake from Kill Jixie, and it looks like Zenny Gunzu is going to be the one who is going to grab that camo for his team. North Alabama Purple Lions are looking to attack the York College Spartans. However, Nazcast runs right by the camo player, and that will be Zenny getting. Oh! As soon as he picks it up, the no-scope from Fresh taking him down. Caminator sent to the watery grave on the back end as well. And unfortunately for them, it looks like they're going to have to restart this attack. Base God Chill Jixie getting the perfect on Nazcast, but look at this perfect flank. Caminator brought down a no shield, but there's no more bullets in that sniper rifle. He is going to have to do this the old-fashioned way, but Caminator, once again, being forced to stay in that back green. Crash, look behind you. Here comes Camo, taken down by Zenny, and Zenny's just on an absolute tear this life. Might get taken down by Nazcast. Yes, he does. Nazcast with the grenade to try to keep himself alive. Unfortunately, it's not going to be enough. Will be hunted down by Stanley and taken down, and it looks like the North Alabama Lions are going to increase their lead with this oddball.
I mean, like I said before we started this map, once you get rolling with the ball time and the slays, it just keeps going, you know, it spirals out of control. And just look at it, we're not too far into map number 4, and there's already almost a 70-point lead for UNA. I mean, they just came out super hot with Zenny getting camo to snipe, Kill Jixie with 6 kills, Stanley with 3, and Odin just being the GOAT of the match by getting all the ball time. I mean, you always need a dedicated objective player, no matter what team you're on, you know? So seeing him do the dirty work is great. He's punching someone top mid. YCP is getting the ball to be played, so this is the break that they needed. Will they be able to come back with UNA only needing 8 points to win the first round?
I don't think so. Looks like UNA are going to continue to hold on to the ball for a few more seconds, and just like that, oh, don't be on them like this, but it looks like actually in bottom mid they got taken out. Wait a minute. York College were able to stop the game being won by just 1 second. However, this is a tall ask for them to have, Burrito. They have to play perfect Halo from here on out. They cannot let UNA touch the ball a single time, because it's just going to be over in 1 second.
Yeah, I mean, have to play perfect Halo, and it's going to be really tough for them to do so. But only one up for the side of UNA. It's going to be a 1v1 here, basically dictate the map. And Goob gets the win, but he's still by himself to screen side, so hopefully his teammate can help. Caminator's coming to the rescue, but will they predict these two coming bottom mid? No, they will not. Goob goes down. Frash gets the kill. YCP has a little bit more time to breathe. So another life to live. But I don't know how long it's going to last. UNA gets a pick here. You do have a snipe with a full clip in it. Let's see if you can make something happen. And it looks like they're going to get very aggressive on the side of UNA. But the rotation's coming out for the side of YCP. And they're going to keep going. Big trade out of Caminator right there. He's going to play the ball. And no, got hit. Stuck in the ledge. Stuck in the ledge. Round 1 does go to UNA. And all I can say is 92 seconds out of Odin, I recognize your game.
I mean, that was just very unfortunate. A little too late for YCP. UNA did the damage already. Just needed one more second of ball time. And like we've said so many times already, they had to play perfect Halo there at the end in order to have just a chance of coming back in that game. Now the game is reset. Nazcast with a sniper rifle to play with has to run bottom mid. Looks like he is going to be chased down. Perhaps not going to be for very long. He is going to burn through as much of that sniper rifle as he can. But it doesn't look like Odin's really interested in picking that up just yet. And neither is Caminator. Nobody really wanting to pick up the sniper rifle for it right now. All of them prioritizing this camo that's been up for quite some time. I think it finally got picked up by Stanley. Yes, it did. Stanley managing to pop the camo for the Purple Lions will be a constant thorn in the side of YCP. But YCP, with the first touch of the ball, is going to try to get this around towards tower. However, it looks like Stanley with that camo play is going to be able to put a stop to that hold. And once again, the Purple Lions find themselves quite literally gifted with one of the best holds in the game on live fire in tower.
Enemy has the ball.
Yeah, and you know, just not playing the ball when your tower side is always such a bad mistake, is because you give them a setup for free. And they have camo, probably going to run out soon. He's had it for a while, but they do have a nice setup here. And, you know, once these kills start rolling in for the side of UNA, it's going to be really tough to break. And, I mean, Frash with the first kill gets immediately trained out by Stanley. Ball goes down. Nazcast with a double kill. And 3 down for the side of UNA. Maybe YCP can get a good hold here, but they got to get this guy out of back tower. If they don't get this guy ratting, it's going to be really hard for them to get a solidified hold, and they instantly trade him out. Looking good for the side of YCP at the moment. This round's a lot closer than the last one.
At least for now, they are spawning heavy over on that dummy side, and here comes the attack on C ramp. You see Gooba is just going to play it safe and play the ball. They're all attacked around bottom mid, and they're trying to stay alive. Unfortunately, Gooba gets traded out. Actually, that's probably about as good of a scenario as you can hope for if you're a YCP. Trading out both of those kills there stalls out this ball grab for just a few more seconds, and we are going to get another team fight in just a few minutes as well. This fight over scoreboard is going to be pretty big as well. They have to stay alive. They have to re-challenge this, but unfortunately not going to get taken down. And Odin getting a double kill there is huge. 3 dead for YCP, and this will be the UNA Purple Lions just taking this ball and on a stroll towards A.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to have a big fight here in the back of A with YCP spawning towards B. Trying to win a 2v1 is Stanley, but it's not really going to work out because that's not really how the math works. So we'll see how they come back from that. It's looking like a 3v3. It's getting a little mixy here, and I kind of like it. You know, 3 dead for the side of YCP. Hopefully UNA can get some ball time, but they do have camo here, and if I'm Zenny, I'm just going to take my time, kind of wait for my teammates to spawn up, get some damage on the map. So definitely play to your advantage with this camo. Get this tower spawn. Get the tower setup going. They got 2 people back tower, but that nade is going to reveal Zenny with the camo, but he gets the perfect on the Caminator and is going to grab ball time. Ultimate team player here. But he has a snipe, almost a full snipe, just randomly sitting there. So, I mean, if you're UNA, you have exactly what you want. You have a tower setup, you have a snipe, you have all 4 up. You just need to get a couple of slaves, and this series is as good as done, and you get your first week 1 victory of the year.
YCP trying their best to mount some kind of an attack onto this ball, but unfortunately they're just taking so much damage on these pushes, and UNA just have these players just hanging man out over in the flanks as well. Fresh winning that fight against Base God, though, is actually huge for YCP. YCP with the chance if he can just stay alive for just a little longer and bring this ball towards tower. It looks like he will be able to. And YCP, you were talking about it earlier, Burrito. They might be able to mount a comeback, but against this UNA squad, they're going to have to play very, very well, especially since they're 2 members down, 3 members down now with Crash, and I don't think he's been able to play the ball just yet. Trading out, but unfortunately, the ball's still in the back tower. So YCP unable to play the ball, and they are both going to die from this flank by Stanley, and oh man, YCP just cannot catch a break, Burrito.
Yeah, if you're YCP, you probably have 1 good break left, so you really only have 1 team fight remaining, so you got to make the most of it here before your series is over. But good nades out of Stanley here, playing his life, just trying to put as much damage as he can to delay the team push. And 2 dead for the side of YCP. Yune's looking good here with 3 dead, 2 fresh off of spawn now for YCP. I think this series is going to be over here with just no time for them to get the push and get the jump. Well, Yune did drop the ball. Yune does not have a grasp on the ball yet. I'm very confused.
They're dropping it temporarily. I think it's for the memes because they are really confident in closing this game out. However, the flank from bottom tower, Zenny gets taken down. Ball's going to be forced to be played by Gooba, so we're not quite over this yet. But the camo, they are already strong side on camo, but Gooba staying alive in back mud is huge for YCP to try to mount some kind of a flank. Unfortunately, it might be a little bit too late, as it will be UNA taking game, set, and series against YCP, and York College unable to turn the tides of history this series.